shouting and chaos as onlookers help people shot and bleeding on the streets of Tehran. This video was taken near Azadi Square, where crowds had gathered, outraged at the cover-up after Iran shot down a Ukrainian passenger plane. Video shows tear gas being fired into the crowd. They disperse, leaving a trail of blood as they flee. In signs of increasing defiance, images of Iran's heroes are being desecrated. Pro-government newspapers are also voicing their disappointment and printing lists of the names of the victims. Shame, reads this headline in Farsi, and unforgivable. Just days earlier, the Iranian regime had been celebrating its missile attacks on Iraqi air bases housing US forces.
President Trump signed an executive order to Congress invoking the Emergency Economic Powers Act. These latest sanctions cover Iranian textiles, mining, and manufacturing sectors, placing these sanctions under the purview of Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Secretary of Treasury Steve Mnuchin. In a joint press conference shortly after President Trump's executive order, Mnuchin and Pompeo clarified these new sanctions will apply not only to textiles, mining, and manufacturing, but also to those who seek to do business or assist Iranian assets in any way, shape, or form.
Let's begin with the news that the Trump administration has reached out to North Korea to hold more talks in Stockholm over denuclearization. Now, Stockholm is where the two sides held working-level talks in October of last year. Citing U.S. National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien, U.S.-based internet news outlet Axios reported on Sunday that the administration has been letting North Korea know through various channels that they'd like to get negotiations back on track to help North Korea work towards abandoning its nuclear weapons. O'Brien also said that he was cautiously optimistic that the North Korean leader hasn't yet delivered his promised, quote, Christmas gift. And reading between the lines, the report said President Trump seems to be relying on his friendly personal relationship with Kim Jong-un to restart the talks.
In the West German city of Dortmund, at least 14,000 people had to be moved from homes and other buildings on Sunday to allow authorities to deal with as many as 4 suspected unexploded World War II bombs. 2 hospitals had to be evacuated and schools were opened to provide temporary shelter for residents who had to leave their homes. Some streets were blocked off to prevent people from returning until the area was made safe. The devices were found in a densely populated area of Dortmund. The mass evacuation was carried out as a precautionary measure. The city's railway station was also shut down, forcing operators to reroute train services.
The Taal volcano in the Philippines has thrown molten rock into the sky, triggering official warnings that a hazardous eruption of toxic gas may be imminent. Well, let's just show you some sped-up footage of the moments earlier when the plume of white smoke that several kilometres high was then spewing up into the air. As tremors shook the area, a volcanic lightning storm developed in the column of steam and ash. Pretty sensational. Views there. A state of calamity, as it's been described, has been declared across the province of Batangas, just south of the capital Manila. Thousands of people have been evacuated from the area.
This is the cost of a conflict that most of the world knows nothing about. 89 body bags, soldiers from Niger's army, killed in an attack at an army base in Shinagodar, close to the border with Mali. No one has yet claimed responsibility, but a number of armed groups are active here. And violence across West Africa's Sahel region has been increasing. Last month, 71 soldiers were killed in an attack near Niger's border with Mali and Burkina Faso. Some believe the conflict in Libya is worsening problems across the region.
Indonesia has secured $23 billion worth of investment from the UAE as President Joko Widodo wraps up a visit. 16 deals have been signed. Key sectors that have been targeted include oil and gas, petrochemicals and telecommunications.
Mr. Widodo arrived in Abu Dhabi on Sunday and he met the Crown Prince of the Emirate of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the United Arab Emirates Armed Forces Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. The two leaders reaffirmed the good relations between Indonesia and the UAE and pledged to improve ties, especially in economic cooperation. During the meeting, Mr. Widodo and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Zayed witnessed the exchange of 16 memorandum of cooperation.
A 36-year-old Singaporean has gone on trial for providing money to support the propaganda efforts of Islamic State. He says he only recognizes the Islamic Sharia law and not the Singapore law.
Imran Qasim was charged last April with terrorism financing. Investigations revealed that he had remitted $450 to a Mohammed Aslaid Al-Midan in Turkey.
Imran, who represented himself in court, admitted to transferring the money, but did not plead guilty as he claimed he did not recognize the Singapore law. He has been detained under the Internal Security Act since August 2017 and issued a detention order for intending to undertake armed violence overseas.
If convicted, Imran faces a jail term of up to 10 years or a fine of up to $500,000 or both.
Yo no grito por mi hermana, grito por todas mis hermanas asesinadas.